Well, I didn't really plan on making a new video this soon, but the teaser for the birth MV just dropped, so yeah. But before we can get to this teaser, let's just take a quick look at everything else that came before. When we take a look at all of the teasers this far, then we can see that Jinsoul seems to be an outcast. In the first teaser, she seems so distant from the other members, not even being on the same level of the others. Then she also is wearing a lot of white, and her style is more so Y2K than grunge. She just doesn't seem to fit this dark aesthetic. In the solo teasers, all of the members have these little hats on the right side of their heads. Only Jinsoul has it on the other side. She is also the only one that is facing to the right side. Because of this, we barely get to see any of the white parts of her outfit. Opposite to this, we can see Cherry being the only one that is holding her umbrella with only one hand, and she lifts her other arm up in a way that makes the white part of her outfit very much visible. Looking at the backgrounds is also quite interesting. We can see flowers in most of these teasers, but they're mostly in blue tones, while Hustle has a green background. This really makes her stand out. And while we are talking about it, her background is also kind of reminiscent of the Loossemble profile picture. Now onto the most shocking teaser, the all-blonde lineup. First of all, Heejin is the only one that has the same hair color in all of these teasers. So she sticks out with this blonde hair in the other teasers, which is quite interesting. Then when we take a closer look at the picture, we can see that there is some kind of pixel effect used on them. To me, it seems like this effect was projected onto them. Now the two non-Odd Eye Circle members are staying next to one another, standing to the right side. Then Kimlip takes center stage and she is holding hands with Cherry. They all seem to be looking at something that is up in the sky. My first thought was that this could be a reference to them looking at the moon or at an eclipse, like they did in the Hi Hi MV for example. When we look at their expressions, then Heejin, Hustle and Cherry look a little bit scared, while Kimlip stands in front of them ready to defend the members. But again, Jinsoul seems to be the outsider here. She is looking resigned, like she already knows what is coming for them, as if she doesn't need to be scared, you know? She is also the only one that is holding up her umbrella with both of her hands, and again she looks a little bit more distant, having her umbrella higher up than all of the other members. Now onto the virtual angel teaser. While this teaser just seems to be a random pic, and we all heard a lot of Orbit and Uri complain about the use of AI. And they are totally right about this, don't get me wrong, I also don't like AI. But I still want to say something about this teaser. While most things about this teaser seem to be randomly generated, I do feel like this person having orange hair and having wings could be something that was done on purpose. We know that Jinsoul has orange hair in the first teaser, and in the Egoist MV she is standing in front of his sign saying Fallen Angel. We know that she was being watched by someone in her Singing in the Rain MV. So what if this is Jinsoul, now having reversed the roles? Now she is the one watching over the others. Now she is the one with the power, symbolized by hair having angel wings. So now onto the birth teaser. The teaser has this really interesting aspect ratio again. It's kind of like a found footage horror video, you know? And I mean, it also could be a reference to BB's MV or the Rain 51 Decibel MV, which would be fitting since the Rain 51 Decibel MV also has these creepy scenes, making it look found footage-esque. The first thing that we see is this deer. And this could of course be a reference to BB or to ARTMS, the goddess of hunting, who is often associated with deers. But besides this, take a good look at this deer. Does this look like a normal, healthy deer to you? I don't think so. I'm guessing that not a lot of you played the Last of Us game, but in these games the world is taken over by spores that turn humans into zombies, like monsters. And this reminded me of this. The deer has these strange pimples all over its face, neck and antlers. And then there are these veins that are really strongly pronounced. To me this looks like the deer is taken over by a parasite of some sort, and this parasite makes it grow these strange things. Then there are 4 candles on its head, and while some people theorized about this being the 4 Loona 1/3 members, I feel like it is a reference to the ARTMS members themselves. Now you might ask yourself, aren't there 5 members? I mean, yeah, but this far I have been talking a lot about the fact that Jinsoul seems like an outsider in this comeback. So what if these 4 candles are just symbolizing the other 4 members that are not yet taken over by this supernatural parasite entity? Jinsoul might already be a zombie following orders, but the others are still on the list. Sooner or later they will also be taken over, just like this deer. And to me, this is kind of underlined by the next shot being a close-up of Jinsoul's eyes. It kind of creates this connection between the deer and Jinsoul. Next, we see 2 people on the train from the first teaser image. This could be Kimlip, and this is definitely Jinsoul. She is the only member with boots like these and without jeans on. This is kind of interesting as well. Not only does Jinsoul not look like the other members to make her stand out, but we can also immediately recognize her because of it. So Jinsoul is creeping up on the other members one by one, maybe. Also, they both have bags and luggage with them, so they seem to be on the run, or at least going away from somewhere. Now we see Heejin with 5 bags. Kind of interesting since there are 5 ARTMS members. So maybe they are not moving houses, but more so universes or maybe just realms. Like they are moving away from Earth and to Middle Earth maybe? And why Middle Earth? Well, do you maybe recognize this? To me, this looks like the scene from the Sweet Crazy Love MV where Kimlip is going to Middle Earth to her circle building to awaken her Odd Eye powers and to create an eclipse. Just another interesting hint. Now we get the shot from the teaser image, and there seemed to be some type of blurry filter over this. This is one of the most interesting things we have gotten out of the Loonaverse in what seems to be like a really long time. I mean, everyone is theorizing and talking about this. What could this be? And what does this mean? Well, let's first take a look at these VHS kind of effects. With old movies, there sometimes were these black dots all over the screen, but these dots are not so random. First of all, we can see a line separating the girl on the far right from the other girls. I think this could be Jinsoul. Why Jinsoul? Well, if we take a look at the teasers this far and this shot, then what if this drawing is showing us the other side of the teaser? It shows us what the members saw. And in the lineup, Jinsoul was on the right side, and in the train she was on the left side. So she always is on the outside. And to me it would make a lot of sense, since she this far is shown to be an outsider, so yeah. Now there also appears a dot on her, then a tear through her head, a blue dot on her foot, and blue is Jinsoul's color, and some more lines. So she has a blue dot on her foot. The members are all in black and white, and only she has this dot. Again, what if this shows us her having powers while the other members are oblivious? I mean, in this last shot we can see that Kimlip and Hassel have their eyes closed, and having your eyes closed could be a metaphor for your odd eye being closed as well. Just like Jinsoul had an eye patch in the Sweet Crazy Love MV to show us that she is suppressing her odd eye powers. These members are also ignoring the oddness around them. They have a quote-unquote blind eye. And also Kimlip and Hassel are the 2 members who share the gloves, which is just another interesting similarity. To quickly get back to the drawing, we can of course overanalyze this drawing. I mean, being a lore bit is all about overanalyzing things. But I will try to keep this as short and simple as possible. So in the upper right corner we have this red star kind of symbol. So this of course could be a lot of different things, but I would like to think that this could be a blood moon or an eclipse. Why do I say this? Well, if this would have been the sun, then they would have probably used orange or yellow to draw it, and they would have probably drawn a circle, but it is a red asterisk kind of symbol, and we know that both solar and lunar eclipses are, well, red. And in the Loonaverse, eclipses are connected to change and a connection to the supernatural, like when Kimlip creates a solar eclipse in her solo MV. Also, this drawing kind of gives up the vibe of being old, as if it was some kind of prophecy, and when you take a look at drawings from the Middle Ages and even before this, they tend to draw things in an over-exaggerated way, which fits the 3-meter tall lady and the asterisk symbol, so it would not be so far-fetched if we were to believe that this has some deeper meaning. Also, while we're talking about the asterisk symbol, did you know that this is like a really old symbol? It was already used in the Ice Ages by cave painters. It also was used in the Middle Ages, and a similar symbol was already used by the Sumerians. This thing is super old. So if this was done on purpose, I guess I might as well just tell you this, because it also kind of underlines that this might be a really old drawing of a prophecy in the Loonaverse, and the asterisk is also used to underline or to call attention to a footnote, which this one frame out of a 30-second long teaser kind of fits into. Then there are these mushroom or flowers in the bottom corners, which again connects to the teasers, and they could underline my theory of the members having their normal hair colors, and then they all turn white when they meet this supernatural being in Middle-earth. Like, this being has the powers to change their destinies and kind of like change their bodies and hair colors, you know? Then the ground being green and the sky being yellow is kind of odd to me. I mean, the yellow sky could be a reference to the Hi Hi MV's yellow smoke, but more on that later. Now, the centerpiece of this drawing is this unicorn lady. A lot of Orbit theorized about who this person might be, but let's maybe start by just looking at the picture first, shall we? The person is quite large, and this could mean that she is a titan, or just a goddess in general. In mythologies, gods are often thought to be bigger and grander than humans. Then the dress she's wearing kind of reminds me of old Greek clothing, simple with a band or belt around the waist, and the dress also looks flowy. She also is looking straight at us. Again, if this was done on purpose, it is kind of interesting, because this goddess notices that she is being watched. She is not looking at the girls, but at us, because she knows that we are here. She is omnipotent, she sees everything. So, this person has a horn that makes them look kind of like a unicorn. And unicorns are magical beings. Interestingly enough though, there are basically no unicorns mentioned in the Greek or Roman mythologies. But they are kind of mentioned in the Bible. But this is kind of thought to be a translation error by Greek and then by German translators. Nonetheless, let's quickly talk about the attributes of unicorns. They are really strong and aggressive, and they hate men. That is so girlboss gatekeep gaslight of them. The horn of the traditional unicorn is twisted around itself, and it gets smaller towards a point at the front. They use their horn to fight lions. Yeah, I don't know why, but unicorns also hate lions. But now onto the most interesting thing about unicorns. They are said to have magical powers. They can heal you and even revive dead people. You know, kind of like being reborn. And the horn makes them resistant to poison and fire. In some really old depictions, the unicorn is also kind of like a deer with one horn. Now, if we take a look at some more general facts about horned beings, since we don't know what kind of person this is, this could of course also lead us into the direction of this being some type of succubus. I mean, demons have horns, and the devil is also shown with horns in most of his forms. So this could be some kind of evil being, disguising itself as like a unicorn or some type of goddess. On the other hand, there is Selene, the goddess of the moon. She is described as being horned, that there is a crescent moon on her head. Or Loona, who is the Roman equivalent of Selene. Which is interesting since Loona sounds like Luna, and also ARTMS is sometimes called Loona as well. So yeah. And what could be a strong argument pointing in her direction would be the fact that the Greek believed that witches caused the lunar eclipses, because they bring down the moon, which is Selene. Also, she and ARTMS seem to share a lot of aspects about themselves and their powers. They are both associated with growth, childbirth, but also things like sickness. So while we are talking about this of course could also be ARTMS. Since the group is kind of named after her in a way, it would make sense. And fun fact, ARTMS also has alternate names. It is kind of common for gods to have many names, and these are Cynthia, Phoebe, and Loona. So maybe them being called ARTMS, and that sounding similar to ARTMS, is also a reference to Loona sounding like Loona. Just like Loossemble sounds similar to Loona, since their name is basically Loossemble. In a way, I would like to imagine there being two ARTMS members and two goddesses in this MV. Like basically two timelines, one timeline where the members become angels of Selene, and one where they become angels of death for ARTMS, since ARTMS is the goddess of hunting. This kind of duality would also explain the wildly different teaser aesthetics. In one they are grungy punk kids sitting in a train, and in the other one they wear these Lolita outfits that look like they're going to a funeral. Now, I do have a kind of crazy theory here, but all of this kind of reminds me of a lot of horror movies and stories in general. A monster that pretends to be an angel or angelic-like being, demons hiding their true intentions and acting like divine beings. This could also explain why divine is spelled with an E instead of an I in the teaser. It's not a divine being, but a devil disguising itself as a divine being. And of course, these beings recruiting humans to aid themselves in their mission could also fit into the teasers. So what if Jinsoul was taken over by this supernatural being and now is doing its dirty work? She now is acting as a false idol with fake angel wings, and she's trying to recruit the other members, which is also why she isn't scared when they're standing in front of this supernatural being. You know how angels in the Bible are described as these scary flying circles of eyes? And how these angels warn the humans not to be scared of them when they come down to Earth? Jinsoul isn't scared because she has already seen this being, but the other members are shocked at the sight of something supernatural. Please don't look this up if you are easily scared, but this all kind of reminded me of these analog horror series, like the Mandela Catalog or Gemini Home Entertainment, where we see supernatural beings from out of space taking over the planet and recruiting humans, / mimicking them to not alert the other humans. I don't know, but I feel like this would be a really interesting direction to take for the ARTMS debut, and it would definitely make for great publicity. And also, you cannot tell me that when you saw this drawing in the teaser, you didn't think about the pages from the Slenderman games. So in the end, I would like for this to be a darker take on the Loonaverse, and it would be really cool if my idea about the two different sides was true. But I mean, I'm just throwing around ideas and hope for the best. I'm not omnipotent after all. So we will have to wait for the MV to drop. And to just quickly tease you with some of my ideas about the ARTMS comeback, in Virtual Angel we can see what seems to be Jinsoul having wings, and in Loosemble's newest teaser we can see BB and Haeju having wings, which is also interesting since Jinsoul has a connection to both BB and Haeju. Then the teaser image of Hassel and the banner of Loosemble's social media accounts look alike, and what is basically just headcanon. But in the teaser for the Dall album, we get to know that the album is called Divine All Love and Live. And in the Loossemble teaser, we can see all of the members being surrounded by roses, which make me think about Eden. Then the first two teasers were of the YYXY members, and only after that did they put the teasers in the debut order. In BB's teaser, we can see that she is wearing a cap that says Bella, and this made me think about the Beauty and the Beast story, which the YYXY Beauty and the Beat album is kind of like a reference to. And BB is wearing a yellow shirt. On Instagram the pics are all surrounded by yellow, and this all made me think about the YYXY members. So what if ARTMS is going into Loona 1/3 territory, and Loossemble is going into YYXY territory? Then this whole duality kind of thing would make even more sense. You really can't imagine how excited I am for all of this. So before I could even upload this video, ARTMS released some more teasers. So let's just take a quick look at them. First of all, we have Heejin in her train teaser outfit. Again, she has 5 bags with her and she looks up at the sky. It seems like she either is looking at the moon or some type of glowing object or being, since she is illuminated with light from the front. It kind of reminds me of the first 2 teasers for the Dall album. In these she was also looking up at something, which in her case was a monster. It also kind of reminds me of these old alien movies where someone is enlightened by a spacecraft and then starts to float up to it. Besides this, there is this strange grain effect on the bottom and the right corner, but this could also be a editing mistake, so I don't know. Next up, Hassel. She is sitting at a table, and in the background we can see the deer on the wall that was already in the teaser. Now this shadow next to the head makes this look somewhat like a monster, you know? You maybe heard of Wendigos before? They are a type of monster that has a deer head and also a humanoid body. They are basically ghostly creatures that live in the forest. And now get this. The Wendigo drives people crazy and makes them eat other people. And what is this right in front of Hassel? A glass filled with a red substance. Maybe blood? Besides this, there are 5 plates, 5 forks, 2 eggs, 1 pear, 1 cake, and then 3 different glasses with this red substance. So 5 plates and forks because there are 5 ARTMS members. The eggs are interesting since eggs are a symbol for the circle of life. They are both related to birth but also to death. Then the cake could be a reference to the Air Force One MV since the members have a cake in that MV. And it has 3 candles for the 3 Odd Eye Circle members. But this cake has only 1 candle. Maybe Hassel is becoming an Odd Eye user in this MV as well. And the pear is really interesting since it is part of the rose family fruits, so it could be related to the YYXY members, so this could be used to travel to different realms in the Loonaverse. On the other hand, pears are a symbol for fertility and femininity because of their shape, and they are related to Hera, a Greek goddess that is also associated with the full moon. And then the red juice in the 3 glasses is just a little weird because there are only 3 glasses there. And also they are just 3 very differently looking glasses, one taller than the other. But it also kind of fits into this vampire/zombie vibe that the members give up in these MVs. Next is Kimlip, who is sitting on the train, and she has 3 bags with her. So maybe she only has the Odd Circle members in mind. This could also fit into the teaser, where we see Kimlip sitting on this train and Jinsoul watching her. And this looks quite interesting. When this is a metro, so underground, then there wouldn't just be sunbeams coming into the train. So could this be the reflection of fire? Again, fitting into the whole death and birth/rebirth symbolism. Now getting right back into my theory of the members meeting this supernatural being for the first time, except Jinsoul. To me, this looks like Jinsoul singing the Rain MV, in which she also is in a black void. And not only does Heejin look like she is enlightened by some type of spacecraft or being, now Jinsoul looks like this as well. But she looks resigned, as if she was okay with it, since she has her eyes closed and she looks really relaxed. So what if Jinsoul has already met up with this thing, and that is why she is so calm? Maybe she even wants to float up to the spacecraft, but what do I know? Last one is Cherry. She is laying on rubble, but also seems to be in this black void space. Now, we can see this white beam coming from the sky, and might I suggest that this is the illuminated being that is coming down from the sky? What if this being is disguising itself as an angel coming down from the sky? And then this would also explain why Heejin and Jinsoul are both illuminated in their teasers. Then Cherry laying down, closing her eyes, but at the same time doing some type of magical spell, could be her playing dead and preparing for an attack, but I don't know. And in a way it could of course play into my unicorn theory. If the member's source for their power is from a supernatural being that can revive the dead and heal you, then this could be exactly what Cherry is doing. Maybe she is thrown into this rubble and has to heal herself, but what I have to say about this is that this does look a little strange. Like, where does her dress end and her leg begin, you know? So Modhouse made an announcement that their use of AI was part of the lore, and that it would fit into their comeback. So might I suggest that this being can control the vision of the members, so it can make them see things that aren't really there? This would explain the use of AI, but also why Cherry has her eyes closed while using magic, because she wants to shield herself from these visions. But all of these are just my ideas and theories, so if you have any ideas or theories, you can definitely share them with us in the comment section. I just really can't wait to analyze this MV, but I guess we will all have to wait just a little bit longer. But I will definitely see you then. So if you liked the video, you can like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.